Hey guys, Drifter here. Today, we're talking about Kanye West. I know I'm a gamer, I'm supposed to stay in my lane, and yes, I do have gaming content coming, but this story has just exploded into my lap, taking place on Twitter and social platforms I'm a part of, so I just can't not talk about this Kanye chaos. In case you didn't know, Kanye West just got suspended from Twitter after posting a swastika inside a Star of David as his official Yay 2024 campaign logo. This story went off the rails. Kanye's been courting alt-right influencers, White Lives Matter. You probably see even in this image the little MAGA hats and things like that. Dinner with Trump, blah, blah, blah. He goes on Infowars with Alex Jones and actually out-crazies Alex Jones. I have never in my life seen somebody out-crazy Alex Jones. You can watch Alex Jones get embarrassed and try to throw Kanye a bone. His TV news presenter best. Easy way outs, ways to rephrase, change the subject, and Kanye like octuples down on Hitler good. That's pretty much the whole interview, is praising Hitler. We can't be insulting Nazis. Yes, I'm a Nazi. I'm going to play you some clips from this. I don't know if this is going to get me demonetized or not, but this is just insane.
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love
that was Alex doing his best to give him a way out. Here's another one. Check this out.
Do I round up Jews in Nazi Germany? Do I get love then? Schwarzenegger said he loved Hitler. They gave him an award. I'm just saying, I don't like Nazis, and I don't like what some of the mafias are doing either.
I like Hitler.
Okay, here's another good one.
Oh my goodness. Just because you don't like one group doesn't mean the other. But look,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
You see this? This is Alex Jones' nervous laughter. His color is changing. It's a fake laugh because you can see from the structure of his face. This is him saying, oh my God, I'm in Chapter 11 bankruptcy because I owe almost $1 billion, and the guy on my show that's supposed to get me views won't shut up about Nazis. His guest here is a real chuckle fuck too. Actually, because he wears the blue hoodie, I feel a little bit ashamed of my blue hoodie today. Here's a fun one.
Like,
I'm tired of hearing I'm a Nazi. I'm really, because I'm not. But I think by them falsely accusing people, some people are going to become Nazis.
I am.
See, another easy way out, and he's just like octupling down on it. The fallout from this has been actually terrible for Kanye. This is like if Kanye were Sonic and he's hit the boss 3 times and is totally out of rings. The career cannot come back from this. Kanye even got suspended from Twitter. This is Elon Musk's new free speech, very open, very few people getting banned Twitter after posting swastika stuff, and also after lightly insulting Elon to the best of my ability to tell, and tweeting out a whole bunch of nonsense about how Jesus forgives in Christianity, and trying to tie God into all of this. And amusingly, Kanye West is no longer acquiring Parler. Parler says the decision to not sell to Kanye was mutual, that Kanye doesn't want to buy it and Parler doesn't want to sell it. The reality is the owners of Parler know that Kanye's probably not going to have the money to pay for it anymore, and as crazy as they are, as far right or whatever as Parler is, being owned by a guy who loves Hitler is just too much for most of the user base. They would probably dip. This story is actually insane. I find it very amusing though. I gotta find these clips of Kanye here. This guy, just like, okay. I've been sitting here making posts on social media, mostly on TikTok and Twitter, about how the Kanye saga is going to end poorly, that he's a man with a mental illness that's being taken advantage of, and I have had thousands of Kanye simps up in my mentions flaming me for being racist, not recognizing genius, hating free speech, not understanding anything about politics, blah, blah, blah. And I've just been saying, no, Kanye's crazy, even if it's not the Nazi stuff. Something bad is going to happen to this man. Nobody listens. So let's talk about what this all means, at least to me. Number one, mental illness does terrible things to people's minds. It doesn't absolve Kanye of his actions or responsibilities for the things that he's done, but it does explain why he did them. A good example of this is my grandmother. She was extremely progressive for her time. She was born in like 1923, okay? And her views on race and stuff like that would probably not be progressive by today's standards, but by literal Jim Crow standards, they rather were. And she was a good inspiration growing up. But as she got dementia and got older and older and the dementia settled in, she got increasingly racist to the point she was spouting off beliefs I didn't even know she knew existed. Exactly the opposite of what she taught me as a child. And what the mental illness does is take whatever racism or whatever is going on in your mind and greatly amplify it. But again, that does not absolve blame. Kanye still has to be responsible for this because he's diagnosed with 1 or 2 different mental disorders, and he decided not to take his medication and instead to surround himself by yes men who are, point number 2, probably taking advantage of Kanye. They are using him as a mouthpiece to spout off their ideas, to sow division in the black community, to make some money. Actually grifted quite a lot of money off of this man. I would say he's actually got a whole orbit of grifters just floating around him trying to take as much money, like Mr. Blue Jacket Chucklefuck over here. Just, you can just see that shit-eating grin, how much he just loves getting a black man to say his Nazi nonsense. It's such... Anyway, it's so crazy. And because he was mentally ill, a ton of people took advantage of him. Not just the people immediately surrounding him, feeding him bullshit to make him more racist or just saying whatever they want him to say, but also parading him out in front of a variety of news organizations, radio show hosts, podcasts. Everybody wanted to do an interview with Kanye because they knew they could get him to say something crazy and embarrass himself, and they'd get tons and tons of views and advertising dollars while Kanye continues to sink himself. And the big point of this, I'm getting off, just way off into like race stuff, is that most people, and this is the scary thing to me, cannot recognize mental illness or incompetence. And a number of them who can are unwilling to do so if the mentally ill person agrees with them for any reason. I'm serious when I say this is a huge problem, not just relating to Kanye, but almost all of our celebrity culture, is that an astonishing amount of people either lack the general or emotional intelligence to detect abnormal behavior in other individuals. They can't see when they're on drugs, they can't recognize the signs and symptoms, they either don't know what normal behavior is, don't have a good reference for it, or can't recognize abnormal behaviors in others. They're also fundamentally incapable of recognizing levels of competence. It's sort of a thing, you have to be of a certain intelligence to recognize other intelligence scales, otherwise your base reference is all off and you just won't notice things like that. There's also a huge chunk of people that are unwilling to apply these thought processes and analyze logically if the crazy or incompetent person is agreeing with them for any reason. Either they do this consciously to use them as a useful idiot, or subconsciously because it appeals to their biases or whatever. But I'm serious when I say about half the people that I meet fundamentally lack this skill. They are fundamentally incapable of sorting out crazy from non-crazy people. And I think that's why we have so many crazy people rising in politics and celebrities and athletes and stuff like that, because a huge chunk of their fans lack the emotional or general intelligence to realize that these people are off their rocker. And that's very scary because Kanye still has an army of simps out there defending him, just like Elon, just like any of these other stupid political figures you see on TV. No matter what they do, they just agree with them and follow them around like mindless drones. And that's scary because there's so many of them. And one thing I do want to see, one thing I would love to see in my fantasy land is I would love to see all of the people that have been defending Kanye for the last couple of months now, or maybe even years, own up to that, because most reasonable people have been able to very easily see he's suffering from mental problems and off his rocker and should not be listening to, yet the simp army has been pumping him up and defending him. And all these people that used him on just come on my show and talk and get these views, blah blah blah, it's the same kind of people that farm Kanye for views. I would love to see them be like, yeah, I stand by what I said about Kanye. Even if he likes Hitler, I meant what I said. Nobody's going to do that. Everybody's going to flake and balk and be, at the very least, intellectually inconsistent. And this is what videos look like when I don't plan them, when I'm speaking straight from my soul about things with basically no outline. I have like 4 sentences written over here for my little talking points. Oh God, what a mess. What an actual mess. It's all unfolding on Twitter. Well, that's all for this. I think this might be the last proper news video for a little bit because this was a spicy one. The next video should be an ultimate FPS game tier list. Then there's a new pet announcement, then another video game, and then a secret project. I'm feeling better, getting back to work, and actually got some stuff in the pipeline. So thank you for those of you that watched that were interested in my opinion on this. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.